upon a time, before 1509 in fact, wolves roamed the English countryside, and lynx and bear too. Even today, in countries perhaps more civilised than our own, these predators still live alongside human beings. For our special Christmas edition, 6 Wild ventured in search of these predators into the frost-bitten forests of Sweden. And it's cold. What airport are we at? In Stockholm. As you can see, like every other airport in the world, it's a vast free plain of nothingness. But when we were flying in, we could see more forests than we have at home. So they're quite nice. Santa Lucia, Santa Sweden has one of the highest standards of living in the world. Its population of 9 million people have unusually good health, social welfare and employment standards. However, in the winter, the average temperature is below freezing, and in the northernmost parts of Sweden, there is no daylight for 2 months of the year. Sweden also has the largest timber reserves in Western Europe, in which their predators live. Well, this escalator might not look like the first place you'd come to see wildlife, but we're just at Skansen Zoo in Stockholm. And apparently up here is a Scandinavian experience where we're going to see wolves and moose and all sorts of things. But I'm a bit surprised that it's the entrance to it. These are wolverines. They look like little bears, but they're actually mustelids. They're related to weasel and stoats. And they're really ferocious actually, and really, really difficult to see them in the wild. I've seen them in the United States. I was lucky enough to see one in the wild, and I ran up to it and I was told by the local people that was a silly thing to do. But it scuttled up a tree. But they're really good at sort of hunting things that are much bigger than themselves, and they'll attack deer, and they're able to sort of chop up the body into several parts and hide it in cases around their territory. But they're considered to be really ferocious. They look really cute, don't they? They are the same species that live in America, but they're a bit smaller than over there. But these are quite fluffy, big fluffy wolves. If you go further south in Europe, the Iberian wolf, for example, in southern Spain, is got quite short fur and is more brown to match the landscape. But he's quite light coloured to sort of blend in with the muddy snow. Look at him. Okay, we switched onto night shot now because it's really getting dark, but that's quite good because actually a lot of these predators hunt by night and they're starting to get quite active. And the wolves are really sort of having a good look around their enclosure, which is quite big. Hopefully they're happy with it. But there are 2 Swedish wolves in this enclosure in Skansen Zoo in Stockholm, and that at one point that was about 1/5 of the Swedish population. There were 10 wolves here in the wild only. That was about 10 years ago, and they've now been allowing the population to increase in number until now there are around 100 wolves are running wild in Sweden. It's still a really tiny fraction of the original population, which would have been many tens of thousands. They were hunted like they were in Britain to extinction, but not quite, because obviously in mainland Europe wolves can cross over between countries, and there's a lot of controversy in Sweden because the wolves cross over between Sweden and Norway. In Norway they're not protected, and in Sweden they are, and the Swedish wolves go to Norway and vice versa, and they have a lot of squabbles about that, but we'll find out more about that when we go near to the Norway border tomorrow. So this is another amazing European predator. It's the lynx. If you look at its feet, they're really massive and splayed out because it walks around often on snow. But we did have these cats in Britain before we drove them all extinct. They're really, really difficult to spot in the wild. They're so elusive. You never see them. And I think they're a prime candidate for reintroduction, for bringing back to the British landscape, because they're so beautiful, and they really don't do much harm at all. You can barely see them now, just prowling around behind the trees, but they're amazing animals. I'd love to have them back in the wild in Britain. I'd definitely bring back the lynx. Start an organisation to bring back the lynx. In Europe, lynx regularly hunt animals as large as roe deer. Any predator reintroduction would have to be carefully undertaken, supported by the local rural communities, and involve compensating farmers when livestock are damaged. We've come now into the forest, and we're at a centre where they take owls which have been injured in the wild and look after them and then release them back, and they also captive breed them. The owl we're going to see today is an eagle owl, and there are just about 200 pairs in the wild in Sweden, 400 birds. And I'm told that before they started this project to breed them and to release them back into the wild and look after them, there was only one pair of eagle owls. So it's very exciting. Haven't found out what the name of the owl is yet, but apparently he was released into the wild. He was a youngster, and he's come back because it's often quite difficult to get the birds used to being, out there and hunting their own food. So he has to have another go. So that's what we're going to see now. Is this the one that's going back?
Yes.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, you can try.
Does it have a name or no?
No.
I'm not scared of it. If you tell me, it's okay.
The clothes, they are dangerous.
Yeah.
But I'm keeping them.
Keeping them.
But the bill is not dangerous.
I remember someone said that to me once and then promptly got bitten hard by the bill. Look at his eyes, they're so cute. Is it a boy, is it?
So this is a female.
A female.
Yeah, a little bit bigger clothes and more heavy foots and also a little bit bigger bill.
Oh.
Here we have a real expert on raptors.
Does he have a name or no?
No.
No name.
You have a chance to name it.
Yeah? What should we name it? What's hope in Swedish? The word for hope.
Hope. Yes, that's the name.
Hope. Hope, that's his name.
Hope.
That's his name. And how many owls were there in the wild then?
We on the west coast of Sweden we had 3 individuals.
3 individuals only then?
Yeah.
And now you have more than 400 birds in the
Yes,
wild.
yes, 400 pairs.
Well, congratulations.
There are two between 2 and 3 in the north of Sweden.
During a period of 12 years in the West Coast, we released 600 birds. Yes.
Wow.
And we finished our project there 83, and after that we donated our pairs to this Nordic this area.
Okay, different area of Sweden.
And we got a big lorry with eagle owls up to the north of Sweden.
Yeah. How many have you released so far here?
I think a total about 3,000.
3,000?
With yours.
Join us in the second half as we head off into the wild forests of Sweden with only a packet of ginger biscuits for protection.
Radio City 105,9 med Stockholms bästa hits och de 7 hetaste just nu.
Travelling northwest from the capital Stockholm, we headed towards the Norway border and into wolf territory. Both Norway and Sweden are signatories to the Bern Convention, which protects wolves, but Norway has a strong hunting lobby who want them exterminated. Wherever they live, predators get into trouble by sharing naturally the animals we like to eat. The Swedish in general are pro-wolf, but still, the locals didn't fancy our chances of seeing one.
Moi, j'ai jamais vu le loup devant moi, mais j'ai vu le renard.
Les renards.
Lots of foxes, but no.
Ils sont trop petits.
Et des biches.
He's
Les biches, les lons.
He's seen lots of foxes, but no wolves. But he says the wolves are 100 kilometres from here. We found the only French
Il y en a beaucoup de
Il y en a beaucoup,
man
mais
running an Italian restaurant in
il y en a des
Sweden.
gens qui disent qu'ils sont en train de
Telling
manger
tell us about the wolves.
leur agneau.
So I've brought you into the toilet now because in the Swedish toilet because Swedish are renowned the world over for being environmentally friendly. Okay, now this toilet is a bit complicated, but if you just want to come here into the toilet, you'll see that it's got 2 bowls. Now I know it's a bit obscene, but I think the idea is if you wee into this one, you only have to just press this button here, and then it produces a little bit of water there and cleans it out. Okay, so if you're a bloke, you can aim at it. I don't know what you do if you're a girl. And then in this one, if you have to do more serious, you can zoom in there. Okay, if you want to do a bit more serious toilet, and then you press this button, and it flushes it properly. And that way, you save water. Because if you obviously don't need as much water to flush away a little bit of wee. So I think that's a very sensible idea. Don't you, Emily?
Very, very sensible.
Very sensible. We like that idea because every time you flush a toilet, it takes several litres of water, which is a complete waste of water. And it's quite likely that the most important resource over the next 10 years is going to be fresh water because there's so little of it on such a big planet. Most of the water on the planet is salt water, and there's so many people, 6 billion of us and rising. Emily's getting waylaid by the cakes, but we're definitely going to see the wildlife and not eating cakes. Are there wolves here?
Yes, but they're hard to find.
Yeah. Do you hear them? Do you ever hear the wolves?
No.
Do you ever see them?
Some people do, yeah.
Some people.
Yeah. But you've never seen no.
Have you ever seen a wolf?
Have you seen a wolf?
Not here.
Never seen a wolf.
Not here.
Predators in the wild need huge areas. Wolves may roam over 200 to 2,000 square miles looking for food. Sweden has a human population density 10 times lower than ours. And if we did ever reintroduce wolves back into Britain, it would almost certainly be in the Scottish Highlands, where there is more space and less people. So Wolfgang, they look a bit like wolves, but they're not wolves, are they?
They are not wolves.
They're huskies.
They are huskies, Siberian huskies.
Siberian huskies.
Yes,
And you live here in the middle of nowhere,
yes.
in Sweden. Hello, you. This is your boss dog, isn't it? This is
Yes,
your top dog.
Baloo,
Baloo. Hello, Baloo.
the leader of the pack, and he
Leader
is
of
the
the
leading dog in my team.
He leads the team.
Yes.
Because you take people out
Yeah.
across the countryside in
Yes.
a sledge
In the sledge and
with the dogs. And they're very friendly, aren't they? But
yes,
they live outside because it would be a bit mad in your house with
yeah, yeah.
so many dogs in one
They are
house.
polar dogs, and they like to be outside when we have 20 minus.
Polar dogs.
Yes,
Okay, they like to be outside -20.
minus 20.
And they sleep
it's
out
the
here.
best temperature, minus 20.
Is that the best temperature for
Yes.
you? Is it? But this year is not. How cold is it now?
We have now 4, 5 minus.
-5 now. Okay,
Wow.
it feels quite cold to us, but it's not very cold at all for you. What do you think is the most? What do you think is the most interesting thing about them, working with them, being with them?
There is no lie,
There's
Between-
no lying, no
No.
untrue.
no untrue between us.
Yeah. Do you ever get the wolves come down here?
No?
Why is that? Why do you think?
I think it's because the wolves accept this pack, a pack with a known territory.
Yeah.
And I think they speak with each other when they are howling, sometimes in the night. But a wolf accept another pack and
But you say
don't
that.
come on this territory.
But with the hunting dogs, with the other type of dogs, you think that the wolf actually reacts more badly to them? They attack them sometimes.
Yes, they don't know what kind of animal this is,
Right.
a hunting dog. And I speak about the body language.
And you say about the ears. What?
The ears and the tail, this is a kind of body language the wolves have, and this is the same language the huskies have.
Yeah.
And so they can speak with each other, and they understand each other.
Yeah. Hey, you. Hey. They have a brotherhood with a wolf. Come on then. Come on. Hey. Here we found some evidence of moose crossing the road here on the way to Hogstad, between Filipstad and Hogstad, up in the wolf area of Sweden. Here are the tracks on one side of the road. It actually has come down onto this side of the road from over here. Quick before the car comes. Here it is over here again. Here. Now, why did the moose cross the road? Why didn't the moose cross the road? Nobody knows. Only the moose. Cool. Okay, so we phoned up to get information about where to find the wolves, and apparently there are 4 wolf packs in this area, which make up to a total of about 15 animals, and They are most likely to be seen on the lake we're going to, which is called Storulen. Thought my Swedish accent was quite good there. And so we're just driving down there now, but again, unlikely to see them, but it is possible, apparently. So that's it, that's Storulen. The end of our journey, where the wolves are. You just saw one wolf once? Was it on? It was on its own? It was alone? So the lady who lives by the lake, has a house by the lake, who's seen a lynx twice, told me that this tree here was felled in the summer by a beaver. And what's quite interesting is we're bringing the beaver back to Britain. We drove it extinct, but we're bringing it back, reintroducing it. So we're likely to see trees kind of crashing down in our forest as well, which can only make the landscape more dramatic. Okay, beavers are really big rodents. They're basically in a rat family, and they've got constantly growing teeth with which they, which is really important. They keep going because this is what they do. They basically gnaw through the whole tree trunk. Look at that. Busy as a beaver. What's going on over here? Emily's beckoning us. This is where he's been dragging them, dragging the tree. Gosh, he's very strong, isn't he? Okay, so this is work in progress for the beaver. There, he's been chopping down that tree, and then he drags it down this little path here. Along his footprint, and down here, down the path to the water. And then he builds a dam. And this is his home, where he lives, right where you are actually, JJ. And he lives inside here. And what they like is to be able to get in and out of their home in the water, so they're safe. Their young ones are safe, and that's why they build a dam across the water to block it up so that they get a backlog of water.
But where is the wolf? Perhaps it's not surprising we didn't see a wolf in Sweden. They could hear us coming from 6 miles away. Still, the pilgrimage to where they live was well worth it. And in the words of the novelist Cormac McCarthy, the wolf is like the copo de nieve, snowflake. You can catch the snowflake, but when you look in your hand, you don't have it no more. Before you can see it, it is gone. If you want to see it, you have to see it in its own ground. If you catch it, you lose it, and where it goes, there is no coming back from. Not even God can bring it back. If you could breathe a breath so strong you could blow out the wolf, like you blow out the snowflake, like you blow out the fire from the candle. But the wolf is made the way the world is made. You cannot touch the world. You cannot hold it in your hand, for it is made of breath only.